All right, we're going to talk about eye contact today. Actually, we're going to talk a little bit more than just about eye contact, kind of the whole diorama in general. But I want to talk about eye contact because it is pretty much the fundamental building block of this whole skill set and area of human social experience. Okay, so I was dealing with one of my guys earlier today who apparently had some sort of like discussion with one of his neighbors, who thought he's like, "Are you okay?" And he was asking about because he'd heard something, and they have no privacy in their little apartment complex. Like the walls are like super thin, um, and it was apparently genuine. But at the same time, this guy felt that he could kind of like lord it over my guy and be like, "Are you all right?" And he said, and my student described it as being uncomfortable. The guy had like a really weird look on his face. He was essentially projecting onto my student that he was acting amiss in some way. Okay, this is of course unacceptable. This is complete bullshit. Okay, in fact, I even had a student come in recently for actual live and field training, and he'd not taken this seriously, and he'd managed to slip by and lie and mislead me, and we started going out, and I'm putting him in training with my female assistant, and my female assistant is just straight intimidating him, um, and we're just like, and then of course we go out and it's the same thing, and it's like this. I put this guy through training that he just completely blew off, obviously, okay, because he just wouldn't be there if he'd gone through the drilling and training and such. But one of the big focuses is eye contact, being able to just look at somebody and talk to them comfortably, being able to engage your mind and just go 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 go, right? And this is it's a incredibly valuable skill set in a lot of different ways. It's one of those onions that you can just kind of keep peeling back the layers of the onion. Okay, when you step up to a woman, you have to make eye contact. You have to let her know that you're all on at least an equal footing, and I'm gonna give you something good, etc. But most guys, they walk up and they do this, and they drop their eyes and they can't do it, and it's a quick flinch, quick looking away, a version of their gaze, and they're done because you've essentially set yourself so far back that it's very hard at that point to get yourself back into her, good graces, much less her pants, right? Not something you want to do. But, what my student was describing was another elevated level of that same experience where, the guy's like, "Are you okay?" And he just like did this whole thing like a hard look or something, and my guy kind of went like, "Oh," and it's like cops do the same thing. Cops are like, "Hey, well, tell me what you do. Why am I pulling you over?" And they're trying to intimidate you into like assuming guilt, and then like try to help them fill in, answer their questions. "Are you okay?" Like, "What'd you do?" And so this is one of those areas where it's like, this is why having eye contact and being able to talk is powerful, because it's the first step in understanding that people are going to project weirdness, stupidity, awkwardness, authority, shame, etc. They're going to use their eye contact, their body language, of course their vocals and verbals, and you have to be completely ready and impervious and be able to defend yourself and your ground, stand your ground, okay, hold the line, and then fucking prevent them from doing anything again. Give them a little pain and discomfort if they need, so that you teach them a lesson. But in the case of women, you must be receptive to them. Okay, and you must be able to use that and direct it and shape it going farther forward into the interaction where you're like, yeah, like you're making her feel emotions using your, projection of personal expression. Okay, so you have to know and understand that that's kind of like the name of the game. So you've got to be able to not just defend yourself, but be impervious to people giving you weird looks and trying to project weirdness onto you. Okay, that is just a life skill that in all walks and areas of life, whether you're dealing with quote unquote AMOGs or cock blocks or mother hens or job interviews, people just trying to put you under a microscope. If they can make you feel, oh my god, then they can get you to be more, subservient, acquiescent to their demands and what they want to know from you. So stop that shit and understand going forward, especially when you get into seduction and top levels of human social experience and sexual experience. You're gonna be, you're gonna be doing things with girls, and then there's gonna be other people being like, oh, and you have to look at them and be like, and they'll be like, okay. I tell a story of, there's so many stories, but one funny story is they sat me next to a real cute girl in an airplane one time. So we were flying, and before the plane even took off, me and this girl holding hands. Perfect strangers, did not know each other, but even before the plane took off, I just was like chatting her up and like, don't worry, girl, I got you, I'll protect you. Hold my hand. And she's like, haha. So we're holding hands as the plane takes off, all cute and dandy. Get a little bit more hot and heavy and stuff. And there's this dad sitting next to her in the airplane, and he's got his like, kids over here somewhere, and he's like looking at her like this, and he's trying to be like the disapproving dad. Okay, now he probably thinks he's protecting her, and to a certain degree, I don't mind that. I can appreciate the fact that there is a dad, a father looking out for a young woman, etc. He doesn't know what's going on. So be it. But this woman was not in any danger. She was having a wonderful, great time, and he can't encroach on her experience because she's having a great time, right? So I had to make eye contact with him and be like this. And that immediately shut him down, immediately turned him off the fact that he's no longer, doesn't have to protect this girl. And funny enough, he turned into like a leering, like, after guy, like this, like, just like, oh. So it went from like reproachful, suspicious, like, what are you doing here, disapproving? And I fucking lock eyes with him, let him know this is not his territory. And he immediately turned into like a leering, like, it was funny. Anyway, that's what we're going for. Cool. Thanks.